Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I have a bunch of pretty new makeup that I figured I would put on, full face of makeup right here, and just kind of give you a little bit of a life update, mostly talk about makeup, but why don't we go ahead and get into it. Alright, as we get started, let's do a little skin prep. I already prepped my eyes like with some concealer, and then I realized that I didn't put any primer on the rest of my face. So I'm going to be using a mixture of products today that I got in my last ColourPop like mystery box. I'll link that video in case anybody's interested, but I kept a good number of items, and then I also like set aside some items to either give away as like gifts later, or I'm trying to get my life together to do a like giveaway. I've never done one on my channel, and I bought makeup a long time ago for a giveaway, and then we got busy, and now I feel like those things are like no longer available or they're old, so I feel like I like kept some items or gave some things away, and now I'm reaccumulating products to put in another makeup like giveaway video because I don't want to give away super old makeup. But this was one of the things that I kept. This is the Do It Hydrating Hyaluronic Mist, and I figured you might see how I like it as like a face prepping spray. More and more often these days I find myself drawn to hydrating primers. Like in the past I used to be all about pore filling primers, and I definitely need pore filling primers occasionally. Like if I'm going somewhere special I'll use a pore filling primer. I don't know why I put that so low, but day to day I really enjoy a more hydrating primer, so I've been using hydrating primers a lot more. This is the like Fourth Ray like eye brightening cream. It's illuminating, radiant, so radiant, brightening eye cream, and I have to say I've used this a handful of times. I really like it. Now I don't think it actually does anything for your under eyes in terms of like skincare, but I wish ColourPop would make this in like a full-size jar version. It's a little expensive to just continue to purchase it for face priming, but I love like the like sheen it gives my face, plus it's hydrating. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I just dropped the cap, it's all here rolling across the room. I'm gonna go ahead and put some like a primer on. This is the backlight priming filter. I'll have to find that cap later, but yeah, let's see if I can balance talking about makeup today and giving a little bit of a life update. I pulled my channel up earlier just to look at like when I last did one, and it's been since like May since I've done like a life update. We haven't had a ton of things, like a ton of life happen, but at the same time I do have a little bit of stuff to fill you in on. So I am using, by the way, palettes today. I ended up keeping the Plush Like Me palette. This, I didn't realize at the time like how 90s themed it was, but oh my goodness, like there's like Video Night, Slip Dress, TLC, Dep, like that. Those are knee highs. I'm a 90s kid, so this was, once I saw the name, even though the color story isn't super unique, I was like, I'm gonna keep that. And then of course I did show you in that haul that I ended up hauling this separate from the mystery box, so I figured I might try today doing, I want to see, this looks so kind of mauve-y kind of based in the pan. I wanted to try to use it all over my eye today, and then maybe this one here on the outer corner, and then if I need to I could also use this guy. And I want to try this like bronzy green. I'm 100% sure it's gonna pull, when I swatch it with my like fingers, it looks like it's gonna pull like bronze over green, but there's the slightest little green reflect to it, so I wanted to try that out today. But yeah, I'm just gonna start and try to put this everywhere. But like I said, since the last Get Ready With Me that we did, I think the last one I was kind of just filling you in on mostly like house stuff. Like we had been working on the house quite a bit, and we are still working on the house quite a bit. I feel like that's just going to be the running like day-to-day thing for years to come, is just that we're slowly working on this house. And I did a recent video where we did like a day in the life, kind of like productive Saturday, and you saw us like clean our area rug, and I kind of showed the living room a little bit so you could see some of like the progress in the living room that has been made. But I want to film some clips hopefully today and put them in this video of just some little things that we've done around the house, so that you can see again, it's slow going. We have a baby, and we don't have all the time in the world to get things done around the house. Plus things are expensive, so it's just probably going to be one of those things that we slowly do. But I really am enjoying how the house is coming along. We've made a ton of progress in the kitchen, thank goodness for our families who came out here and helped us do projects along. We've put in a storage bench. We have painted the kitchen. They helped us paint. They built some wood valances. We need to eventually replace the blinds in there still, but it's looking so much better. And then eventually we probably want to figure out something to do with the cabinets. They're not my favorite. The people who own the house before us just kind of like chose the crappiest paint. It's not appropriate like cabinet paint, and there's not enough coats of paint on it, and they kind of stick. And so we either at the very least are gonna have to repaint and like put doorknobs or like pulls on the cabinets. But I'd love eventually to try to figure out if we could afford to replace the upper cabinets and maybe the doors on the lower cabinets. I feel like that would make the kitchen, it would change the kitchen so much. And one of the bigger drawbacks of this house is that there's not a ton of storage. So if we were able to replace the upper cabinets with slightly bigger cabinets too, especially since we have the ceiling height for it, I think that would go a long way. But let me pause and kind of talk about this eyeshadow. I'm surprised it's pulling more like peachy. It's not, it looks so much more mauve in this, maybe because it's against all that green. But in person, it's just kind of like a neutral, slightly peachy-ish kind of light brown shade. Also, I'm a little disappointed that it's not like building up a little bit more, but then again, it is pretty light in the pan. I probably shouldn't expect it to build up that much. I'm gonna go ahead and put layout down here on the outer corner. So let's see what else has happened since I last talked. I know in the last video I probably also was talking about that we were preparing for an upcoming kind of like little vacation, and I did post like a travel makeup video since then. But yeah, we were able to go to Santa Barbara mostly for like a work trip, but we kind of turned it into like a little vacation while we were there. It was really nice. It was nice to get out. We haven't really traveled in a while, and we were kind of nervous that Galis would be really tough to handle. She turned 6 months on the trip or during the trip, and she did so good. Like flying, I mean, it was tough. We had to get up I think our flight left when we left here. We got up at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and she was exhausted, but she really didn't complain much. She tried to go back to sleep, and right when she would fall asleep, we had to go through security, and again, she just kind of like cuddled us, and she was tired. That was a rough day for her, but all in all, she did really well, and I was impressed by her. So we're actually going to try to do another trip here soon, mostly to go home and see family. My brothers still haven't met Galis, and then my mom and dad have been really busy with doctor's appointments, and let's just say, to kind of keep things brief, things haven't been the best medically for my family. And so my mom and dad haven't got to come see Galis since she was born, and they miss her like crazy, and I missed seeing them with her. So we're excited to go home soon and kind of let them get to see her and get my brothers to meet her for the first time in person. And then she hasn't met her cousin Johnny yet, so that's another person that we're gonna get to introduce her to. I'm a little nervous because she's starting to kind of get stranger danger right now. Like, she's in that window of like realizing that other people exist, and it's kind of scary for her. But I'm hoping that she'll warm up quickly, so we'll see how that goes. Now, house-wise, again, we're slowly working on things. We actually have plans. This was our first summer ever living in a house. So when we lived in Europe, things don't get that hot that often, right? We didn't live in the desert in Europe. But here, things get hot, and we actually don't have like refrigerated air or air conditioning. We have something called an evaporative cooler or swamp cooler, and this was our first experience of ever having one. I probably would be fine. I mean, when it got up into the low 100s here, it was pretty hot and a little bit miserable sometimes. But for the most part, as long as it doesn't get that hot in the day, the swamp cooler can keep the house comfortable for me. But then again, I'm someone who's typically always cold. So, but poor Bo, he is not built for that kind of weather. And he was miserable he's been miserable this summer. He's very hot natured. And so I think I'm gonna go in with this like light goldy, a slightly green shifting shade called Star Power, and put it on the very inner corner of my eyes. I probably need to use a brush to do this. Yeah, let's see how it goes with a brush. But yeah, he has not loved his summer here, and we knew eventually we were gonna look into putting in refrigerated air in this house and taking out the swamp cooler, just because eventually when we go to sell, I think that it will increase the value of the home. And so we were like, you know what, if we're gonna do it eventually, why not go ahead and look at it now and get some quotes, and if we feel like we can afford it, we might as well try. So we've been getting quotes lately and that was just shocking. I think, you know, in my head I was expecting a certain number, and then when it comes back, when there's such a big range, it's not even that when it comes back more, it's like sometimes people can be like, you know, I'm expecting one number and they come back like almost double, and you're like, excuse me? That's not fun to expect. But we've found some people that seem really good, so it's kind of nerve-wracking, because I feel like if we were home in, you know, where we're from, we know, like, you have a community and you know what to expect, and you know at least people to ask, and then they can tell you honestly what people to use. But here we don't really know anybody, and we don't even know who to ask to get recommendations about, so we're kind of just flying by the seat of our pants here. But at the same time, we're excited because, or at least Bo's very excited to get a new furnace and like new air conditioning in the house, and I think it will make a big difference in our comfort level eventually. Okay, sorry about the camera change. Also, I'm just realizing how messy the background is. Sorry, it's a Saturday and we were just hanging out. I didn't really feel like cleaning the house to film a video, but camera change because I swear something's wrong with probably the batteries on my cameras. I probably need to order new batteries. I feel like I usually keep these charged, and the charge is like running out on it super quickly, and I don't really know if maybe my battery's dying or something, or maybe I just need to, I don't know. Hopefully it's not the camera, and hopefully it's just the battery. That's way easier to replace. Why don't we go ahead and do some face makeup? I am going to start with concealer. This guy I bought like a year ago, but I have not opened it yet. This is the Ulta Full Coverage Concealer. I used up one of these in the past, but it was like back when they had like smaller packaging. I feel like this is a big package. I remember that was like one of my complaints before, is that I went through it really quickly because it was like really, like there was like a double wall in there, and it did not have very much product in it. Oh wow, this is darker than I remember. I wanted to give this a try. I remember the first time I used it, this was like my go-to concealer to go to the beach with, or if I was gonna wear somewhere where it was possibly going to be a little bit more wet, because it says it's waterproof. And I remember out of all the concealers I had at that time, it did last like a really long time on me. Like the rest of my makeup would have worn off at the beach or something, and then like I would have like a little triangle of concealer. And so I wanted to, I picked it back up because I was like, I remember liking the concealer quite a bit. And when we go home soon to see family, we'll have access to a pool, and I want to bring a concealer just in case I end up, I don't plan to wear makeup into the pool, but if I have makeup on during the day and then I go to the pool, I don't have to worry later on about like taking my makeup off before I go to the pool, kind of thing. Does that make sense, or do I just sound crazy? But yeah, I don't know if they changed the formula of it. It doesn't really look like it's changed a ton. Doesn't feel super different, but then again, I don't have the most like recent recollection of what it felt like or looked like before. Foundation, I don't have a new or brand new foundation, but this is my newest one. I got it in the last 21 days of beauty sale, which holy cow, we're already coming up on the second round, the one they do in the fall, which is crazy. I feel like this year is flying by. This was also the foundation that I ended up packing while we were on vacation, mostly because I was like going for like a super glowy look, and it definitely like got the job done. I don't love it as much as like the original CC cream or the Your Skin But Better or foundation, the one that looks like this in the squeezy tube, but it's not a CC cream. That one is honestly probably my favorite. I feel like it's almost the same coverage as the CC cream, but maybe just slightly less coverage. And on my like skin, I think like going, especially like nowadays when I don't use super high coverage products, my skin looks a little younger, so that's probably a good thing. Now this one sometimes can get really, really dewy looking on me, which I like at certain times, but if my skin isn't like perfect, like right now I have a lot of baggage and I'm a little bit dehydrated, so my wrinkles aren't aren't the best, but I feel like this one can accentuate things not the way I want to when my skin isn't perfect. So today I'm touching up some spots, and even then I'm not covering them up. Probably should have used a brush, but I only have the sponge in front of me. I don't have my concealer or foundation brushes in front of me. Really quickly, I think I need to go back into my eyeshadow because I noticed that like this eye has more of a wing situation going on. Like I brought the eyeshadow out a little bit further than this side, so I'm just gonna go in and kind of make them look a little bit more even. I think that's better. I think that's okay. Now, bronzer. Before I set my face with powder, I always want to set my face with powder before I'm done with cream products. I have this guy. This was one that I bought separately from the mystery box from ColourPop. I remember like wanting this way long ago when it came out, and I just kind of held off on buying it. I've used it like probably less than 5 times, but so far I have to say I think this is my favorite. I haven't tried a ton of cream formulas, but normally the cream bronzers that I've tried are like the stick format, and I feel like they're thicker and a little bit harder to blend out. This is so easy to blend out. Like I just put it on, this is actually like a foundation style brush or like a flat kabuki brush, and I just kind of like tap it on my face and blend it out slowly. It blends out really, really nicely. It's more of a thin product, like it doesn't really provide coverage, but oh my goodness, if it's not, well, I may have gone a little bit heavy, but it's so pretty if you ask me, especially if I have like a good self tan. And I think it's just like one of those good cream bronzers that like melts into your skin instead of looking like you're adding like lots of extra layers on top. I'm a fan. I'm definitely a fan. If y'all know of more formulas of cream bronzers that are similar to this, let me know, because I've never really been that excited about cream products, but not cream products, cream bronzers. But this one's starting to change my mind. I'm very, 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 very impressed by it. But let me move on to powder. I don't have a brand new powder, but this powder was given to me a while back from a friend, and I've never opened it. I think I was waiting and thinking it's so small that I'll like use it all up at once, and now I'm just kind of like over it. I want to try to use it. This is like a Becca powder, and I think it's like the soft blurring powder or something like that. I hope it's not too dark, but I'm gonna just apply it. I've been liking to like tap it on with this brush and then go in with like a fluffier brush and like blend it out. And I feel like lately my nose has been rejecting anything and everything like coverage products. Like concealer's not sticking to it, foundation hasn't been sticking to it. I don't know what is going on with my nose, but it's rebelling against me lately. Now I did pull a powder bronzer to go over the top of this if I need it, but I honestly don't think I need it today, which is crazy. Like I don't think I've ever done my makeup and not needed a powder bronzer, so I'm just gonna leave it like it is for now. Another thing that I don't have any new item of is highlight. I have no new highlight. The last time I bought highlight, I honestly could not tell you, so I'm just gonna use one, just a random one. This is Lunch Money from ColourPop. I put it in my recent Shop My Stash, and I figured today's a good excuse to use it. Plus it'll probably go very well with this look, so why don't go ahead and use it. One of my go-tos, like honestly, natural pan usage, because I love that one so much. So that's highlight. I'll pull out my blush. Okay, for blush, I have one that y'all have not seen yet. When Amazon did their Prime Day, I noticed that they had this Lady Gaga brand, the House Laboratories blushes on sale, and I thought it looked really pretty. And I've been looking for like some like true pinks, pinks that don't have a lot of coral in them or a lot of orange, because I feel like in my collection, if I'm honest with myself, I have way too many peachy corally blushes, and I want some more true pinks. And out of like the 4 shades they had available for like, I think this was like $10 on Prime Day, this is the shade Rossini, and this was like the pinkest of the bunch, so I went ahead and grabbed it. I've only like swatched it, I haven't really used it. Hopefully it's not too pigmented. It's one of those like kind of baked gelée kind of formulas, so yeah, it's not like too, in person it's not like too much, although I definitely see I could go overboard, so I have to like make sure to not, I don't know why I'm like knocking my brush off. I just said it's a baked gelée formula, it's not powdery, but I think it looks really pretty. It's not as pinky. I think I was hoping more for like a baby hot pink than, it's more, it's almost leans a little bit berry, but it's really pretty. I think it's like a good kind of blush to give you that kind of sunburnt look. But again, I kind of wish it was just slightly more cool toned, but it's really, really pretty. I also really, I have to admit, I really like the packaging. It's like a little magnetic kind of closure. Very, very impressed with the packaging. All right, I'm gonna spray my face one more time with this dewy setting spray, but then I think I will go ahead and pop off camera to put on some mascara, and then we'll do lips. Okay, I'm back. Mascara is done. The last thing I wanted to show you, I did haul. Now, I have to tell myself, I literally edited and posted my makeup inventory, and in that same day, after saying to myself on camera, you know, I probably have too many lipsticks, I went out and bought on that same day 2 lip products. Now I walked into Ulta. I shouldn't have walked into Ulta. That was my fault. I walked into Ulta and they were doing a buy one get one half off certain brands for like National Lipstick Day, and I've been, well, I've been suckered into L'Oreal lip products plenty of times, but I've been wanting to try the lip gloss from Maybelline, and it was one of the ones on like the promotional sale. So I picked it up in the shade Opal, and you probably can't see it, but oh my goodness, that shade is so pretty. It's like a peachy pink with a slightly peachy pink gold glitter running through it. So pretty. And then I love these like older L'Oreal lipsticks. These are the color Riche Shine lipsticks. I had 2 of them. I had like one in the shade Varnished Rosewood, one in the shade Glossy Fawn. Let me swatch all these. Here is Varnished Rosewood. That's Glossy Fawn. This one is like my cool tone. If I want like a simple, I don't have to think about it, that's what I reach for. If I want a warm tone nude, I would reach for Glossy Fawn. And then in store, I saw that they had a different, this is called the Glow Paradise, and this shade is called Nude Heaven. And I was like, that sounds nice. Does it look extremely similar to what I already have? It absolutely does, and for some reason I need it. And it's kind of like these two almost have a baby. Like, it's so pretty. So I wanted to wear these 2 together on camera today. I am going to put a lip liner on first though, so please excuse my extremely dry lips lately. Like I said, I'm pretty dehydrated. I am using Nude 1 from KKW. These have kind of been my go-to lately. I like the formula. They're nice, they're creamy but pigmented, and I just find myself quite liking them. I'm gonna go in with this Nude Heaven. It is indeed a Nude Heaven. Isn't that pretty? I really like balmy style lipsticks. And then this gloss, again, I'm telling you, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I don't even want to put it on over like my, like typically I just like rub it on and get the wand all dirty. I'm gonna put it on my wrist and then put it on with my fingers because I'm not ready to dirty up the wand yet. It's so stinking pretty. So there we go. You honestly can't even see the glitter in like this shot, and even like holding up a like mirror to myself, you really don't see the glitter. I just think it's really pretty. These lifter glosses honestly would probably be perfect to me. I just slightly miss that tingling feel of the Buxom glosses. I like that it kind of feels minty, and then it kind of does a little bit of numbing towards the end of it, so I don't feel how dry my lips typically run. But I'm very impressed with these. I can see why people really like them because they're pretty nice glosses. They don't feel sticky. Yeah, definitely really like the gloss. I almost picked up another shade, and I'm really glad I went with that one instead. But yeah, that's everything for today's video. Sorry if I talked really low. I have a sleeping baby. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.